Okay, hi everyone. This is Johanna with International Sanctuary, and I am so excited to get to interview Ancin, who works with our amazing participants in Cebu in the Philippines. Ancin, thank you so much for taking time. I know you guys are kind of starting your day in Cebu, but thank you so much. As we're ending our day here in the U.S., thank you so much for being available to chat with us a little bit about what you do.
You're welcome. I'm excited and at the same time nervous.
You're going to be so great. Ancin, I would love to know, how long have you been with International Sanctuary now?
um, I met Miss Wendy way back March 2020. So they came over here with Miss Danet to see, like, haven't, but I was interviewed way back 2019. But then they came here in the Philippines 2020. That was March. And um, I was working, I was not yet working with them, but I was officially part with International Sanctuary at June 2020. So when Miss Wendy came here at March, that's the time after they left, like it was a lockdown.
Yeah.
So there was a lockdown that happened. So there was delayed with the processing of permits and all the stuff. So I was officially part of International Sanctuary June 2020.
June 2020. And just for people who may not know, Wendy is the founder of International Sanctuary. And Daynette is one of our amazing supporters who helped us open Cebu Sanctuary. What made you want to do this kind of work?
I was part of an organization with the same mind as International Sanctuary. We also work with girls who were trafficked. So my heart is really for the girls. Like I want to be part of bringing hope and freedom to them. So when our organization closed, God opened a new door, and I was really happy. I thought that it was the end of my career because I really want to be part of an organization helping organization, because I was thinking I'll be back in a sector, like I'll be back working as an HR and all the stuff. But I wanted to be an agent of change. So that's why when I had a chance to be interviewed by International Sanctuary, I was really happy, and I really prayed for it that I will be accepted.
And you were.
Yes.
It's been a little over 2 years now.
Yes. But we officially opened our sanctuary for the girls April 2020.
That's right. So, kind of a crazy story with the opening of Cebu. I would love for you to talk about it. Ancin, as you and Hannah were hired, we opened our sanctuary. We brought in our first cohort of women and girls, and then the global pandemic shut everything down. So, can you talk a little bit about that and what that was like?
So we were just starting April, and then our government announced lockdown around June, I guess, June. So we have to work from home, and we were still learning about how to make jewelries, and we were still getting to know the girls, and then this shutdown happened. But the girls were really happy that before the lockdown happened, they were already accepted here, because it's really hard to find a job right now with this pandemic and all the stuff.
Yeah, I can imagine. Would you say there's a lot of organizations in Cebu right now that do a lot of like providing jobs for women who are coming out of trafficking?
As part as I know, there are just few, like TTI and the organization I was part before, but it shut down. And there are a lot of organizations that do rescues, that do shelters, but there are just few, like 1 to 5, or organization that do like the aftercare, or when they are integrated into the community. So there's just few opportunities for the girls.
Right. How many women do we have right now in our
So right,
sanctuary in Cebu?
so right now we have seven girls.
That's
So they are
awesome.
from different organization as well. So they are referred by an NGO to us.
Right. And what has been one of your favorite things since coming and working with International Sanctuary? What's been one of your favorite things about the job?
What I really loved about it is we have different pillars like income, health, community, and education. And during our first year in the sanctuary, we worked on our community. So I love getting to know the girls, getting to know about them, and also with Hannah Eve. So spending a lot of time with them, and also our education. So every morning we have different activities for them. We do English lessons and different like on Monday we do exercise. So that's what one thing I love being here. So I get to be myself.
You get to be yourself. That's awesome. I mean, that's a great way to describe a job, is like getting to be yourself, as part of your job, which is so awesome. How are you able? I know with the shutdown, how were you able to really grow community when you're not physically together? How did you guys go about doing that?
Um, we had to learn how to use Zoom, but we're
Right?
really fond of using the messenger. So even though we don't have like load or internet, we can have the free data. So
Mhm.
we can still use the messenger. So every day we get to check in with the girls and have a video call with them. So even though it was shut physically, but we were still able to have communication with them through Zoom and or Google Meet. It was also the first time to use Google Meet
Yeah.
and a messenger.
And then I know you guys have really done such a great job at really building the program despite the challenge of COVID. But I know this past December, Cebu was hit by a typhoon. Can you talk a little bit about that and some of the challenges that have come from that?
Yeah. So after pandemic, after the shutdown, we were slowly going back to the office and
Mhm.
getting used to working here and coming here. And then this typhoon came. We were planning like the week before what were our Christmas party will look like, what we will wear, and then the games that we have. So me and Hannah Eve had a plan as to what the party. But then we were also excited, and then we heard about the news about the typhoon, so we had to cancel. We were like, no, we will push through. We'll see if this typhoon is that strong enough. So we were not informed, or we didn't know that the severity of the typhoon. I mean, the aftermath. We didn't really expect that.
Mhm. Yeah, because it was a pretty severe typhoon. How did it affect you, and how did it affect the women in the sanctuary? How did it affect our participants?
Yeah, so we know that there was a typhoon coming, but the category of the typhoon, it was changing on the day the typhoon came. So
Mm.
we were not really prepared. Like we didn't store water, we didn't store gasoline, fuel, and then when the typhoon hit, like the night before, the electricity shut down. So
Mm.
the day after, we had when we went out, it was like have you seen what movie is that? It's like a zombie.
Oh,
It was like that.
zombie apocalypse movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not the people are not zombie, but the
right.
place. Like all the trees are
Mm.
on the streets, the poles, the electricity.
Mhm.
So it was really we didn't expect that. We know that the winds were really strong, but like my place in the island, because my husband is from the island, we didn't learn the news to our place until 2 weeks after, because the communication also shut down. We didn't have signals. The telecommunications were also broken. So when we heard about the effect in our place, our home was like totally damaged, no
Mhm.
roof, and it was really damaged because there was a storm surge in the island.
A storm surge.
Yeah. So
So
after
that's like
two,
the storm surge. Is that like the waves coming in? What
yeah,
is a storm? Okay.
yeah, it's like a big wave coming in, so it really
Yeah.
almost swept
Floods.
away our home. And also some of
Wow.
our girls, like one of our girls is from an island, so her house also was really badly affected. And then Hannah Abe is from the Argao in the province. It's also badly affected. And most of our girls, like no, all of our girls are really affected. Their houses were really damaged.
Mhm.
And the day after, we were not able to contact them right away. But for me, when we went out, we had to look for water, and there was no water available. There was scarcity of water, and then with the food, it's still available, but the price suddenly had an increase.
Right.
So yeah, our budget was was tight, and
Mhm.
then in the gasoline station there was a long line, and then
Mm.
after 2 days there was water available, but you have to wait My cousin, he was doing the water, getting the water for us. He slept on the road, just
Wow.
so
To wait for
yeah,
water.
yes, just so
Wow.
we will not be out of the line. So he really waited for there. But then, and also some of our girls shared their stories, and they said that some of them evacuated, so they were not in their house during the typhoon. But when they went home, it's like, where's our home?
Yeah, it was
It was
totally
really,
gone.
yeah, and it was really sad because after also the typhoon, the rain, there was the rain for the whole week. So we didn't have roof, and it was really hard. We were really heartbroken to hear and see because our signals were restored. So we had communication with them, and they were sending pictures to us that this is what our house looks like. And also, we have a girl that just had a fire. So their place had fire, and then they were in
Wow.
the evacuation, and she was like, Miss, I'm still coping up with the fire and this storm.
Mm,
What is happening? So when we came back, we really did a stress debriefing with them because what
mm,
happened was really traumatic for them. So
right.
when they hear rains, like, oh, will it start? Will the winds come again? Like it, how it happened?
Mhm. Yeah. Thank you for sharing all of that. So how are they doing? How are things now compared to how they were right after Christmas, right after the typhoon?
Yeah, so but we are still very thankful because even though like we didn't have communication for a few weeks, but Max really tried to reach us, and he was
Mhm,
really always making a follow up as to how are the girls doing, and then
mhm,
um, and also with Hannah Eve, for me it was really hard to get a signal. So Hannah Eve's place, like where
mhm,
the place where she was renting, the communication was better. So she was the one who was really looking after the girls. She connected with other organizations for help and also from International Sanctuary. So initially, Max sent us financial help, money, so that we could get food and water. And then
mhm,
after few weeks, he also sent us financial help to rebuild our houses. So the
mhm,
girls are really happy, and they were crying and saying that we are so blessed to be part of this organization because it's really hard for them to like um, stand up again on their own. But
yeah.
with the organization helping them rebuilding their houses, it for them it was like impossible because
Mhm.
they some of them worked from other companies, and they know it's impossible for an organization to help them with help, building their houses.
Right. Yeah. So, for those of you listening, Max is he oversees all of the programming across all of our sanctuaries, and he is in Mumbai, India, and he's amazing. You will be hearing from him soon. We're going to interview him here in the next couple of weeks. And
Yeah,
so,
and sorry.
no, go ahead.
Yeah, and also the other sanctuaries, like all across the countries, they're also sending us encouraging messages. So when
Oh,
we get back to the office, we read all their messages. We showed them the videos. And some of them um, gave us short clip, like for the sanctuary, and also from SSC, from you, and so Shannon. So the girls were really happy, and they were like, "Miss, can we make some of their messages into bookmark so that we can reread it over again?" So
oh,
some
that's
of
so
it
cool.
also they hang it outside on our announcement board, so
Mhm.
that when they come in, they can read it.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. You know, that's something that's so cool. We talk about the pillars. You mentioned the pillars and community as being one of the pillars. And that's something that's been really neat to see with the new technology is the way that, you guys can communicate with the people, our sanctuary in Mumbai and our sanctuary in Uganda and our sanctuary in Tijuana and really encourage each other. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so after the typhoon, we also have like a program call wherein all our other sanctuaries are in, so we are able to meet them online, so to see the faces because we usually just receive emails like this is from
Mhm.
Johanna, but we don't really know what they look
Yeah.
like. So with this technology that we have, it's really nice to have picture or faces on the
Mhm.
names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It helps to learn. Even for me, coming in, I'm like, I want to know who Ancin is. I want to know who everybody is. So it's nice to have technology to be able to see and to communicate and talk with each other.
Yeah, and also India has been handling some of our education part. So
Mm,
Divya and then Max also sit in. So she's able to teach the girls. So even though she's from India, and but she's able to teach the Philippines, and the girls are really excited to meet people from other countries like India. Yeah.
yeah, that's so cool. And you guys have kind of a big announcement because you're going to start basically, do you want to talk about it? Like selling the jewelry really
Yeah, so it
soon?
was really we had a really it was really delayed already because we were planning to send out our samples to SSC this last December, but because of the typhoon and everything that happened, so we are delayed. So right now we are coming back and starting it again and hoping that we can send our samples to SSC so we can also start selling our products here because some of the sanctuaries are sending their samples like right this one
Mhm,
this one, so they've been sending samples so we could also see what it really looks like because
mhm,
we also have a training with Mayuri. She's also from India. She's also doing she's training me and Hannah Eve and also some of the girls to do the jewelry properly. So it's
mhm.
really great. It's really great. The technology is really helpful.
Yeah. Are you guys enjoying making jewelry? I mean, we're so excited to get your first shipment. We're excited to get your first samples. We're excited to finally announce that the Philippines is going to be sending jewelry in. I know it's been a long road, but do you enjoy making jewelry and learning about that process? Do the women enjoy it? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, it's we are really enjoying it, and some of the girls even shared. One of them said that, "Miss, this is my way of like not forgetting, but like bringing my focus to a different item, like making jewelries. Instead of me
Mm,
focusing to my problems, I'm able
mm,
to make jewelries instead." And also, some of them said it gives them a sense of accomplishment that they're able to do this stuff. And also, one of them said that she's really proud because seeing the jewelry, she's like, it's really hard to make that one. It's impossible. I don't know how to make that one. But when she's making it, and then after making it, it's like, oh, I made it. So you can really see their reactions, and you
mhm,
can see how they're eager to learn about the
mhm,
different kinds of jewelry. At first, they were like, Miss, it's really hard. We don't have, for me and Hannah Eve, especially for Hannah Eve, because she's really handling the production area.
mhm.
It's really hard for her to get the resources like the materials that we
Right.
need because it's pandemic and some of the stores are still closed, so she really had to do legwork like personally
Yep.
going out and visiting what store or what item is available for us, and then
Mhm,
one of the challenges also is us ordering from other countries,
mhm.
and then it will take around 1 month sometimes that we
Right.
get the item. So we really have to plan ahead. And then this is also what one of our problems because we don't have it here or some of the stores are closed. We have to order it, so that's why we're really delayed with our plan of sending our samples to SEC.
Yeah, it's been a lot. I mean, as people know, the supply chain issue, all of those things, stores being shut down, all of that has just kind of created. But you guys have persevered through it, and that's so commendable. And you also had a baby in the midst of all of this, Ancin. So
Yeah.
Ancin is a super woman. She's a super mom, and she's a super life changer as well. So we're so grateful to you for the way that you're leading the women, for the way that you are just giving so much of yourself to create a new life for these women. I'm so grateful to be your colleague. It's really an honor to work with you, and I guess because we're coming up to 20 minutes. Is there one last thing you would like to say to our listeners and supporters out there?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for making this possible. So when Miss Wendy visited us, we thought that we will not be able to open. Like for me personally, we will not be able to open because of the pandemic. And we know there's also, it's happening not just in the Philippines, but all over the world. But still, you made this possible. And thank you for helping these girls find hope and freedom and for giving them a chance to have restore their dignity So I'm really thankful. I'm really blessed. I'm very blessed to be part of this organization. Every day I thank God for this career. It's really, it's not always that your passion and your career goes together.
Mhm.
So my heart really goes out for these girls, and I really love them, and I want to continue growing with them. So thank you for your continuous support. Continue supporting us, all this the sanctuary itself.
And we can't wait to sell your jewelry here in a few months. Maybe Oprah will get it on Oprah. That would be exciting.
Yay!
Oh, thank you so much, Ancin, for taking your time. I won't take any more time away from the precious women you're working with, but we're so grateful for you, and thank you for sharing your heart with us and a little
Thank
bit more
you.
about Cebu.
You're welcome. Thank you.